I'm having my first coffee and I'm doing my first run of the day. Today is Tuesday, September 16th. And the electronic sign before said, traffic incidents ahead, expect delays. And this is Highway 2 South. Of course there are going to be delays, even when there's no accidents. I was checking my mailbox this morning and I left at 6:15, but I was waiting for, I ordered a cool tank top t-shirt from Amazon, kind of like what you see athletes wear in, like, whenever you see some competitions, right? They have these super open tank top, that shows your muscles on the back. Got that one, but it was coming from China. It took like 3 weeks, But then something told me, I keep checking my door. Like, I open the door, look on the floor where they usually drop the packages, nothing. And then I go online before I left. I go online and it doesn't say delivered, but then it says click, check all updates. So I check all updates. It says delivered. All right, so I go outside, nothing. I go to the hallway where sometimes they leave packages. There's like a bench in there near the elevator. And these lazy bastards, instead of going to an apartment and leaving the package at the door, they just leave it in the hallway so anybody can steal it. No, there's nothing there. Okay, I go to the front hall where the mailboxes are. And I open my mailbox and see a package in there. So, of course, it's just a single t-shirt. I should have bought two. And it in a soft envelope, and it fit inside my mailbox. And I also see a letter that says Alberta Justice. And if you remember, I got that speeding ticket, my second speeding ticket in like 40 years, since 1984. And I got it in July, I think, and they gave me until September 10 to respond. So on September 8, 2 days before the deadline, I scanned the code where it takes you to their website, and you don't have to have a user account. It's very simple. You just, kind of like create a profile, and it says find your ticket. And so I entered my name, date of birth, ticket number, and it found it. How do you plead? Well, non-guilty, of course. And so that letter that I found this morning in the mailbox was from the court with a court date. And I drove to work, and as I waited for my 6:40 time, that's usually when I get out of my car, so that I'm inside by 6, I clock in before 6:45 a.m. I open the envelope, and it's what I suspected. So the offense date was this, July something. I think it was like July 10th, and then it says court date September. No, what I'm reading is like my mind is still foggy, so early in the morning. I see August 17, 2025. I look at my phone. Wait, today's 17th, but then I realized that we are in September, so today is September 17th. And I look carefully one more time at the letter. It says August 17. Wait, how can it be August 17? And then I look closely at the year, and it says 2026. So that's a victory. That's a victory in my book. So I don't have to pay the fine for 1 year, And I told my boss about this, and they said, why don't you just pay? I said, why should I pay? There's no interest. Why should I give in so easy, And so, August 17, 2026, I'm going to court to fight this ticket. I just delivered my first load, which is the scissor lift. It was going to car wash, and I put the proper address in, and Apple Maps took me to the proper street but the other side of the intersection. And there's a school, there's crazy traffic, so I called the guy. I said, guys, there's no car wash here. And he says, oh, you have to go back to the lights, and we are on the other side. So I thought maybe they put in the wrong address, but then I checked on Google Maps instead of Apple Maps. Now I checked Google Maps, I found that car wash, and it's the proper address, the same one they gave me. So Apple Maps screwed up, and I ended up in a super busy area. Had to do like a loop around go around the block in order to turn around. So now we're going to the Bobcat of Calgary to drop off this defective little loader. So just drop off the machine at this Bobcat's Lover's Paradise. We're actually close by to Flying J. If you know Flying J, near like south end of Highway 2. Lots of machines in here, all kinds of attachments. Oh wow, snow plows. And my bosses were saying that these are the most expensive machines. Like if you're looking for a skid steer, then these are the most expensive. And really we've been having issues with John Deere. And so I think they said now they are switching to Case because it's cheaper. But they said Bobcat is the most expensive, which is I'm not clear on why. I just picked up this pretty big scissor lift you see in the back over there. So heading back to base. And by the time I'm at the shop, it's gonna be 10:15, which is perfect. So it's only my first run. Like I mentioned, usually we finish the first one at 9, but I had 3 stops. Right, and I had to play with that skid steer. It refused to start, so I had to call a mechanic, right? So he had to replace a couple of fuses. So anyway, heading back now. Lots of mini lakes everywhere. Everywhere you see, I think this one is actually artificial because the looks very square. I'm in the industrial area southeast of Calgary, on the outside of 201. Lots of manufacturing companies here. You know, heavy equipment, all the good stuff. Crane companies. Lots of trucking companies actually. Yeah, lots of trucking companies. Just past the Mercer Valve. I'm guessing they're making valves. Here you go. The next Tracademy. The next truck driver. Across the street, it says Friends Truck and Trailer Repairs. Well, friends don't let their friends repair their trucks. Now, if we can turn into this road somehow, that would be awesome.
At the next light, turn right.
here on the right, remember what I said about trucking companies? Here's one. It's Transax, a huge company. They've been around a very long time.
At the light, turn right onto 84th Street Southeast.
Now check out this guy. Double 53-foot trailer rig. Now this is Pagan Trail. We just need to get over there. That's 201, the ring road. But we're gonna be joining that way. Where's the sign there that says over there? Yeah, the sign says see, 201 North.
Turn left, then keep right to merge onto Highway 201 North.
So my second trip, I'm in the Dodge Ram 3500 with a Cummins diesel pickup truck. Loaded some small load of scaffolding. That's my stop 1. Stop 2 is pick up some scaffolding, slightly bigger load. And then stop 3, picking up some parts at the parts dealer. Stop 4, I'm picking up a compressor, you know, the one that you tow behind. And then stop 5 is pick up more parts at Princess Auto, or some MIG, you know, welding wire. 5 stops, and time now is already 5 minutes to 11, and I should have taken my lunch break, but I'll take it somewhere on the road. So 5 stops, and the first one is like 40 kilometers away. So I told my dispatch, well, I'll be home for Christmas. And he said, yes, sir. All right. This was cool. This is my second stop, so I just was picking up some scaffolding, and it was a female's name, and she sounded very young on the phone when I said I'm coming. And she said, yeah, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And she said, me too. I'll open the door and just go to the back. And I backed to a bay, even though I'm in a pickup truck, right? But I have a tailgate. It was still like maybe 1.5 feet below the dock, but it was pretty cool. She was carrying the frames and the decks, and she seemed super fit, you know, in tights, and not like 20 years old, probably like, you know, 35, 38, but super fit, you know, man. And I step on the dock and I look around, and it's all, you know, gym machines, like for strength training. And she was coming to me with a frame, and I said, hey, I was just about to ask you if you use this scaffolding for weightlifting, but then I see you have gym equipment over here. He said, is this a gym? She says, yeah, it's a gym. And she looks super confident, you know, like she's the boss. And I said, is this your gym? She says, yeah. Holy moly. She owns a gym. And I thought, actually, that would be pretty cool, you know, to have since I love doing this, like today I'm going for sure to the gym. It would be great to, you know, have an enterprise like that, where you can train yourself, you can inspire other people, you know, like a small gym, maybe, you know, because it's constant monthly income, right? That would be something to think about. So anyway, there was no shortages. I have to write down the time and date. So 6 frames, check. 12 pigtail locks, check. 7 foot braces. 3 decks, but 7 foot, so they're pretty light. So 4 casters or wheels, check, and pickup. All right, so that was stop number 2. And my stop number 3 is pick up some concrete pins, like 9 cases, I think, of concrete pins. But now I did the most difficult part of stop 2 with these scaffolding. So now I can take my lunch break, because I really hate taking a lunch break and then when you have to work hard physically, and that's what happens usually. I have a nice lunch, and then my boss switches me from Freightliner to pickup truck, and it's scaffolding. It's just very difficult right after lunch, because you need like at least 30 minutes to let everything digest. But now I think I saw on Google Maps nearby, I'm in the southeast again, but nearby there's a Subway somewhere, sandwich shop. So I might go there, and I like their vegetarian wrap with that flatbread. So let's see if they have those veggie burgers in stock. This is what I was afraid of, because this is a industrial area. There's lots of people working here. So I go inside the Subway, and there's like 10 people in line, so I know that would take like half an hour to buy food to get to the counter, and my break is only 30 minutes, so I ended up getting some they had a deli in there because it's a gas station as well. So got some spicy chicken sandwich, even though I don't want to eat meat anymore. I'm supposed to be pescatarian, but there's nothing else. And some vegetarian samosa. So now taking my 30-minute break, and then heading over to stop number 3 to pick up the concrete pins. So that's what I picked up. That little box there contains 1,000 concrete pins or nails. And it's always confusing. Whenever I go to this place, they specialize in fasteners. First off, it always takes them a while to find the order. I tell them the name of the company, I give them my paperwork that shows what am I supposed to pick up. So first they, like this guy, this time he went looking for it in the front, in the back, finally comes back with 1 box. And I said, well, I think my paperwork says 3. He says, no, over here it says 1, quantity 1. And I said, what about the price? Is the price correct? And even though my paperwork says 3 something, but the price is like $75, and which is exactly what his paperwork is saying. And he says, police reported ahead. And he says this box contains 1,000 pins or nails. So, man, cops everywhere here. This side, that side, I'm guessing. Oh, they're stopping people and they're doing spot checks, safety checks. In both directions on this Glenmore Trail, they set up kind of like an ambush with 5-6 police vehicles, and they just stop people in the middle of the road. It's a two-lane divided highway with pretty wide shoulder, and they pull over people to the shoulder when they see like an older truck. And I see they stopped a bunch of dump trucks, because lots of them are quite old. They stopped a guy, like a semi-truck with a flatbed trailer hauling some scrap metal, and there was a couple of smaller vehicles, mostly trucks. And I see they're crawling underneath, they're checking the brakes, they're checking tires. Man, I hate when they do that, because of course they will find something, right? There's always something wrong on a vehicle, that maybe it's not that urgent, so you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna fix it, during the next oil change. But especially on a big truck, man, there's always something. I remember like this was terrible, Each time they would pull you over and they do a full level 1 inspection like a DOT in the States. Like mud flaps, you know, like if you have a missing mud flap, that's a ticket. If you have a air brake sort of adjustment, that's a ticket. You know, your logbook has to be in perfect order. Like, really, I do not miss that part of trucking at all. Dealing with law enforcement that tries to make a quick buck, you know, using your equipment as an excuse. Well, I made it to the equipment place. Sometimes I come here, they fix our equipment. So I went up front, said I'm here to pick up the compressor. 185 CPM compressor, the one that you towed behind. And she called somebody and she says, well, our yard is all basically too many vehicles inside there, so I cannot go to the back. I've been here before, so that's where they keep machines that they done fixing. And so they said you might want to sit tight a few minutes, they're gonna bring it out for you. And so I hooked up my hitch in the back there. Looking in the mirror, and I turned around so that I'm facing the road. So as soon as they bring out the compressor, I'm gonna hook it up. It's not that heavy, so I can move it by myself. You know, it's way easier to just move the compressor towards the machine than try to back exactly with the hitch towards that, you know, eye. And then that's my stop. This is my stop 4. And then all I have is stop 5, stop by Princess Auto near the airport and pick up some MIG wire for the total of $329. Holy mackerel, how much wire is that? Yeah, this Ram 3500 with Cummins is probably our best pickup truck. Okay, hold on, there's a cop. Let me slow down a bit. I had my cruise control set at 110. There's a guy there. Just joining the highway on the right. But actually he's going faster than me and I'm at 105. But anyway, I just wanted to say this is our, out of 3 trucks we have, so 2 are Ford F350 and 1 is this Ram 3500. All are diesel, but this Ram is, I think it's more recent, and so it has cruise control. The other 2 trucks don't have a cruise control because they're so old, and it has a pretty decent CarPlay capability. So I just hook up the phone with a cable to the computer there, and you can see Google Maps or Apple Maps, you know, much more clearer. And the voiceover is through the car speakers, right? And so now I have my cruise control set up. You see buttons over here. So F350 doesn't even have this. Like there's a empty spot on the steering wheel where the cruise control is supposed to be. So I came back to the shop, drop off the compressor, remove the hitch, hid it inside the pickup truck, and then went inside and asked him what do I do with the scaffolding. And they said, okay, we have some scaffolding going out tomorrow, but with 10-foot decks, and I have 7-foot decks. So they said, keep the frames and casters, but remove the short decks. All right.
At the light, turn left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
So I did that, and the dispatch they look at the clock, and there's like, it's 10 to 3. And I said, I think I saw you have some pots pick up over there. And he says, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, where did it go? Let's pick up. Yeah, so I'm heading to Kubota dealer in Belzec. It's called Tractorland. I'm picking up some, what is this? Some kind of a rear cover. I'm guessing for some Kubota machine. So I'm still on a pickup truck. My frames are in the deck, but that should not be in the way because it's a small piece. Oh yeah, that wire, that MIG welding wire, there was 3 boxes and the paperwork said 10 pounds. And so the lady at the pickup counter called somebody on the phone and they said, please bring...
Use the right lane to take the Alberta 2 North ramp to Red Deer.
Please bring 3 boxes of this welding wire. They're not heavy. And all the lady shows up and she's like bent over and she has these 3 boxes which look small, but she says, you said they're not heavy. They're heavy. And we look on, I grab them, she gave them to me, I grab them and they're heavy for me as well. Well, not like super heavy, but I look on the side and it's 10 pounds, but it's 10 pounds each, not total.
Use the right lane to take the Alberta 2 North ramp.
So 3 small boxes are 30 pounds, you know? So I brought those in.
Continue on Alberta 2 North for 5 kilometers.
And I brought those concrete pins. And so now probably this is going to be my last stop picking up this cover, rear case cover for some machine. And after this I'm going to go to the gym and sweat there for an hour, and then I'm going to go home, take a shower, and probably see what Uber says. Today's Tuesday. Tuesdays sometimes can be good. And I liked doing Uber in the Durango because I got probably 3 XL orders, which paid pretty good, you know. For some reason, I have not been getting any Uber Pets, even though I'm all registered, you know, but Uber Pets, you know, when people have animals like dogs and cats, also they pay better than Uber X. So it's kind of like pretty much the same as Uber XL, you know. So why not? In my experience, most of the time, if they have dogs sit on the floor. I just tell the owner, please don't let them climb on the seat because, you know, they have dirty paws, or if they have long nails, they can scratch the leather. And so normally they just keep them on the floor. Or a couple of times I had cats, and each time they were inside a cage. You cannot even see the cat because they, you know, to keep them calm, they cover the cage with some black cloth. And all I heard was occasional meowing, you know, but didn't even see the animal, the monster. And once I had 2 ladies with 3 dogs, and 1 dog was pretty big, and 2 smaller dogs. They were going to a park, I think. But the dogs were okay, they were calm, and it's funny, like they're sitting, you know, behind me, and their face is right where my shoulder is. Because they're sniffing me, right? And so I said, hey, can I pet him? And they said, yeah. So, you know, I scratched under his chin. I don't know if it was her or him, but they're cute. I love dogs. And that's why I signed up for this Uber Pets, you know, it's fun. So, yeah, sometimes they can leave a mess, but so far, touch wood, I was lucky. All I found was a couple of hairs.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 273 across Iron
And that's about it, which is no big deal. Humans leave much more mess than, especially when they rent a vehicle. So humans leave much more mess than animals. Welcome to Tractorland.